company have in place already, go ahead and select a choice. So strong identity management, including multi-factor authentication, encryption for data at rest, application testing, perimeter and firewall security, asset inventory, CDM programs, EDR tools, threat intel, automated incident response, cloud infrastructure. So a bunch of choices there. Maybe just a final round of question, and maybe Ryan, I'll start with you for your closing thoughts on what in particular the next iteration of Zero Trust will be, and then Jason will go to you, and then Bill will finish up with you.
Sure. This is an interesting one because it's not a flash in the pan. This is how we are going to be handling security going forward. We're already seeing this in areas around industrial control, automotive, and even in consumer applications. This concept will be spreading further and further above and beyond, outside of just enterprises, organizations, and governments. This is how we're going to continue to do business, and the tools will continue to get better and better. The skills that folks have will become better and better. It's a process, a journey, not a destination.
Thanks, Ryan. And Jason, next over to you. What's next for ZTA? And also maybe layer in a few thoughts on this audience question. What initiatives, prototypes, methods, applications, either national or international, have demonstrated promise? And you talked yesterday a little bit about the NIST NCCOE project that I think IBM and maybe a few others are a part of. But what's next from your perspective?
Yeah, that question is timely, because that was going to be a part of my response on what's next. So, we talked about interoperability being a key part of Zero Trust architectures, and we're not at end game for that by any stretch. There's definitely been advances, but NIST through the NCCOE is sponsoring a work group around Zero Trust architecture implementations, and it's a multi-vendor initiative. There's actually 19 vendors that are participating. And the reason for that is because, as we've all said, Zero Trust is not going to be achieved with a single vendor or a single technology. So organizations have heterogeneous environments, and they need to make them work together. And so a part of that work group initiative is to show specific scenarios implemented with a Zero Trust architecture using multi-vendor technologies to achieve those. And so I think what's going to come out of that as well is further identification for standards that are needed. So whether those are communication standards, data and context sharing standards around specific schemas for context sharing, I think we'll start to flesh out more of those and have more open community sorts of interactions, all towards driving towards this concept, I think, of a Zero Trust platform, or more of like a mesh sort of solution that allows these different components to interoperate together towards those common goals and outcomes of Zero Trust.
Yeah, thank you, Vince. I'll jump in here real quick. I know we're running short here. I agree. Zero Trust is really a journey, not necessarily a destination. And it's also important to point out that it's a change in culture. It's a change in how we're viewing these threats. That said, bad guys are innovating quickly as well. So using that data exhaust that Ryan talked about, and drawing insights from that data is where I think we're really going to see a lot of the movement. User behavior analytics, enabling orchestration and automation. The advancements are going to be made from getting the most insight out of your data, acting on that information, and then doing it all in real time and in an automated fashion. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. That's a great, and thank you to all the panelists. possible. Please join us for our next next webinar, which will be on Wednesday, October 27th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And that program will focus on ways in which businesses can migrate securely to cloud service environments, something that I know a lot of our audience members at least noted in the last poll that they are using in some way, shape, or form. For those that missed it and are interested, CISA does have an open consultation on their Zero Trust maturity model. Log on to zerotrust.cyber.gov for more information there. In the meantime, check out uschamber.com for additional resources. Thank you very much for joining us for this episode of the Now Next series on moving to Zero Trust architectures, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.